The following podcast is recommended for mature audiences only. The following podcast is recommended for adults only. Maturity is not a requirement.
Hello and welcome to Dear Download, a podcast about Download Festival, music and the industry, and all other aspects related to rock and metal. This episode is all about albums celebrating a 10-year anniversary this year, so albums released in 2015. I am Adam, and as always, I'm here with Simon. How you doing, my man?
Hello, my man, my brother from another mother. How are you? I'm good. How are you? First of all, how are you?
Good. Yeah, I'm very good, thank you.
We always do me first. Let's do you first.
Yeah, me. I'm good, thank you. Yeah.
Is that it?
I'm very good. I'm always good. Always good. What about you?
Good. Okay.
Been out
I guess I just have a couple of things to say at the beginning of the show. First one is I hate Adam. No, I'm joking.
Me? Or another Adam?
Yeah, no, just you. Or any Adam, really. I mean, most Adams I know are quite annoying. I would say that people have started booking on to our Butlins holiday for next October. So if you do want to if you want to get involved with the Butlins holiday, we're doing it from the 9th to 12th of October next year at Butlins Minehead. It's going to be the country weekender. And we've already got about 14 people that have confirmed as coming, and all people are booking on from now, basically, up until that point. But I think probably by next year, probably somewhere near the beginning or maybe up to festival season, it will probably be all booked up. So I'm just telling people that if you do want to come along, not to try and jump on too late because there might not be any rooms or any space left. So if you do want to come to the Dear Download Butlins Getaway, let me know, message me on Instagram, Facebook, or on Discord, and I will add you to the group and you can be involved because already I'm like, this is just going to be so much fun. And, you know, we wanted to do it for ages. We wanted to do something outside of festival season. And finally we're actually booking it. So it's just something I'm very excited about.
Sweet. Yeah, the lineup looks pretty shite though, doesn't it? Like
the lineup, yeah.
Yeah, the lineup. Yeah, do you know if there's going to be any secret bands, secret sets?
Oh, of course, yeah. Yeah.
Any curveballs?
Yeah, Skin Dreader playing a secret set. That'll be the curveball.
Fucking curveballs! I'm getting fed up with people talking about curveball.
I think people were talking about it on the Discord today or yesterday. I'm pretty sure everyone was talking about it. So, guys, that's fine.
Remember, Andy said there was going to be an amazing band as a secret set last year. And it was Parkway Drive. Like, don't expect too much from this curveball thing, all right?
I could feel Stu's toes curl from here. He knows we're talking about Parkway Drive. I think he senses whenever we're talking about Parkway Drive. Right, he certainly does when I'm talking about Parkway Drive, anyway.
I don't even know if he still listens, so it doesn't matter.
Oh, I'll have it out of him next week if he doesn't.
Okay, cool.
Well, he probably listens to another podcast that's very similar, doesn't he, these days?
Anyway, I have big news. I had another
announcement, but it's fine, I'll wait.
You have big news. Simon, what is your other announcement?
My big news is that finally my first single for my forthcoming album will be coming out on the 28th of October. Song's called Never Let a Good Man Down, and it'll be, the first single from the album. I'm not sure whether I'm going to release the album in December or January. But yeah, the single will be out next week, Friday. So by the time this comes out, this coming Friday, my single will be coming out. So very excited to get it out to everyone. And just really excited about it. So and the album itself, So yeah, that's it. So yeah,
awesome.
Go listen this Friday on Spotify.
I'll have to put the link back to it on the episode description. Spotify, because that's what I would imagine most people use. You search for it on anything else if you use it. We'll put the name in and everything.
Yeah.
Fantastic. I have an announcement.
Go.
It's pretty cold, isn't it, at the minute? It was freezing today. Absolutely freezing.
Very freezing.
And I was going to say, this winter. Are you cold? Are your nips always hard? Well, we have a hoodie. I don't know how. I have no idea how that's going to sound. I always thought I'd do a good trailer man. This summer, 3 friends. Yes.
That sounds good.
I have received my hoodie. Simon's is still in the post to him. I only got it yesterday morning. But it is absolutely stunning. So you've probably heard us talking about it before. But so it is the Dear Download and Broken Day Clothing collaboration hoodie. So most of you would have seen the t-shirt we did before Download last year. And we've done a hoodie now. I've said weird every time through this. We've done a hoodie now, and like I said, it's absolutely stunning. If you go onto any of our social medias, then you'll be able to find pictures of it. But yeah, go to brokendayclothing.com, I believe. It should still be in the episode description anyway, and it'll take you straight to it. You can also get 20% off of all orders when you spend over £60. If you use our code DearDownload20. I should have said last episode when I said the same thing, but it's the number 20. So it's all one word and the number 20, not the word 20, which is probably quite obvious, I guess, to most people. But I felt a bit silly for not clarifying that after last episode. Yes. Cool.
Yeah, I mean, like, Adam's wearing it right now, and it looks like a thing of, like, when he turned around, he's like, dude, I got to show you the back. And when he showed me the back, I was like, okay, I'm not just saying this because it's our hoodie, but this hoodie is absolutely unbelievable. Like, it is so sick. And I'm really jealous that I don't have mine.
It's on its way. On its way.
Oh, yeah, it will. And when it arrives, I will be, I'm going to be in a very good mood. I'll be putting on a never taking it off. I'll have to order a new one immediately.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I haven't really taken it off much since getting it yesterday morning. Pretty much. Took it off to go to sleep and then put it straight back on again when I got up.
It's winter, man. I'm wearing a hoodie right now. I'm wearing my Misfits hoodie, but I'd be wearing my Dear Download hoodie if I had it. So as soon as that arrives, that boy ain't coming off. You get me?
Yeah, it is stunning. So yeah, great work by Broken Day. Yeah, it looks absolutely stunning. They put pretty much all the work in. Got their artists to draw something up.
That's what we like. Other people putting all the work in, and us getting all the rewards. That's exactly what I like. So perfect. What a great thing we have going with them.
Yeah. Excellent. I was going to try and find a way to link that in as rewards. I guess it's kind of a reward for the work the work we're putting in. No, I can't work it out. Anyway, I went to a gig on Sunday.
You did?
I went to Drowning Pool, Spine Shank and Head PE, but I went on Drowning Pool's guest list, which is ridiculous.
Yeah, so awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool. So those of you who have been here for a while, well, a lot of you will probably remember we obsessed over Anti-Saint back in 2023. Was it 2023 or 2022? It was 2023, wasn't it?
2023.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And they listened to our episode when we were talking about all the bands, and we basically said we'd love to have them on at some point, and they listened, and the guitarist came on, Andrew, to chat to us. So we obsessed over them for a little while. They met up with us at Download and gave us free t-shirts. We didn't have any merch at the time, so when I missed a bit. During the interview, Andrew sort of casually mentioned that he's the sound tech for Drowning Pool. Which is crazy, but he's also the sort of stand-in bassist as well at the minute. So he gave us t-shirts. We didn't have any at the time, so I wanted to repay that and give him some of our t-shirts and a few other bits. Now that we have merch, and the closest to me was Bristol, so I messaged him and said, "Look, I got some stuff to give you. Can I meet up with you?" And I didn't have tickets for it at that point. I kind of had a feeling the conversation would go the way it went. He basically went, "Oh, you coming tonight?" I was like, "No, work's a bitch at the minute. My rest days, I pretty much need to be resting and not doing stuff." And that's why I was 50-50 about going. And I was like, "But I'm in Bristol now anyway." So he was like, "I'll try and get you on guest list." And he got me on the guest list. So just
amazing.
Yeah, I had to hang around Bristol for about 4 hours waiting for the gig to start. But yeah, awesome gig. I've never seen Spine Shank. They were awesome. I want to say I've never seen Drowning Pool either. I don't think I have before. So yeah, that was really cool. And Desensitized was the album we were trying to think of last episode with the
there you go,
the woman in the bikini with the baseball bat. And I was looking as well. I actually really like the third album with Ryan McCombs as well, which is just a self-titled album. I said I didn't go too much on the first album. Was it Sinner? Was it called
yes,
Sinner? Yeah, but the next three I absolutely loved. But I didn't really think I was that much of a Drowning Pool fan. But now looking back at it, I was like, oh, I must have been quite a big Drowning Pool fan for liking three albums on the trot.
Yeah, which is unusual for you.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, that was. Normally, I have not much to say at this point, so I was looking forward to giving a story this time, saying I actually did something for once.
Fucking awesome, dude. Yeah, very good, and a very good story it was, sir.
Yeah, and Andrew's awesome. Didn't get that much of a chance to speak to him. That seems to have happened like that every single time I've met him. So he should be coming back to download next year with Drowning Pool. He said he'll be doing it with he'll be doing the sound at least. He might be also playing bass still, so he'll be there in some way, shape, or form. So we'll have to grab a beer with him.
Nice.
Yeah, awesome. So this episode is all about albums from 2015. You want to take it away with your summary of 2015, if you have one?
Yes, I'll give you a little bit of a pop culture rewind. So just in general, looking back, like 2015 was a pretty big year, to be honest, like for albums. There's a lot of big albums that came out in 2015. Crazy to think that it was 15 years ago. Personally, for me, it was a very strange year, 2015, because it was the year that I left London and moved to Gloucestershire. So the first half of the year was pretty much awful. Mentally, probably one of the worst places I've ever been. And the ending of 2015 was amazing. So it was a really, still to this day, one of the strangest years for me ever. I missed Download because I moved to Gloucestershire the day of Download. So didn't go to Download either. Although I hadn't been in 2014, I went away, so I couldn't do it. And I said, I'm going to go in 2015. And I was like, damn, I didn't go. But we'll talk about that a little bit, Download in a minute. What was happening in 2015? So in movies, if you'll remember, Star Wars The Force Awakens was released. And we thought, okay, that was a soft reboot, but it was pretty good. Things can only get better from here, can't they? How wrong we were, unfortunately.
Haven't seen it.
What else came out this year? Avengers Age of Ultron. Fucking hell, I can't even say that. Avengers Age of Ultron. You know, not the best Marvel film, but still, I absolutely loved it. Ex Machina, which is a British film, which is one of my favourite films of all time, which is great. Mad Max Fury Road, which I know is a lot of people's favourites.
Was that long ago? I remember going to the cinema with Kelly to watch that. Yeah, Jesus.
Yeah, 10 years, man. 007 Spectre, which was a pretty decent Bond film. Not one of the best, but not one of the worst. And The Martian. I remember I loved the book.
We went to watch that as well.
Went to cinema to see that. I don't think the film is great, but I still kind of enjoyed it. So there was a lot of stuff happening film-wise. In general, Apple released Apple Music in 2015. And the iPhone 6 came out that year. Drake released one of the greatest memes of all time, releasing their music video for Hotline Bling. And that Drake meme is still used to this day. So 10 years on, that is still living.
Which one is that?
That's one where he's like, and then in the other picture, he's like,
oh, okay. Oh, I didn't know that was Drake.
So that is cool. That's from Hotline. I mean, I love that song. So I love that video as well. It's ridiculous. It's the stupidest music video of all time. It's amazing. Everyone was doing the mannequin challenge. Do you remember that?
No.
When someone with a camera would walk around and everyone was being really still, and they would they'd done it in like workplaces. I remember WWE doing it. Movie sets would do it. I remember the guys who were filming Avengers did it. It was like a really big fad at the time.
No, I don't remember.
You don't remember that?
No, I don't remember.
Okay, a lot of this was passing him by. And probably one of the biggest things of the year, again, it was a big year for Marvel, but Tom Holland was cast as Spider-Man and everyone was kind of freaking out about it and saying, who is this child that's going to be playing Spider-Man? But it actually ended out to be pretty good because he was quite young at the time when he... what was happening at festivals? Kanye West headlined Glastonbury, which is still, it was a bit controversial at the time. People who were there say it was really good. I've watched the footage and it seemed okay. Probably not the best headliner. Slam Dunk had Yumi at 6 and the Architects headlining. Bloodstock had Trivium, Within Temptation and Rob Zombie as headliners. 2000 Trees had Def Havana and Alkaline Trio, who are going to be headlining next year. And Download, of course, was Slipknot, Muse and Kiss, which is actually 3 really good headliners. I'm kind of gutted I didn't go that year. And the weather wasn't bad either, so that makes it even worse when you miss a Download year and the weather's pretty decent. Do you remember anything from Download 2015?
Not a lot. I need to look at the lineup to try and get some memories back.
Remember.
Yeah.
Do you have any overall memories from 2015? Anything standing out? Anything that happened to you?
Me and Kelly moved in together for the first time in 2015, around June, I think it was, because we were living together for about a year, and then we moved into this house June the next year. We moved. It's irrelevant when. But yeah, at the time I had been a postie for about 2.5 years, between 2 and 3 years. I think I got my first proper round to myself at that point.
Nice.
And so music was a bit of a weird one for me at that time. I think I was basically listening to the same obscure Swedish bands. So a lot of the mainstream music just went over my head, or I didn't know anything about it. So it's interesting what we're going to talk about in a minute.
Yeah. So out of these, how many albums have we got? So out of these albums, how many of them had you previously listened to before this episode?
Let's see. One. Yes, one.
Okay, that's cool. Which one?
Shinedown. But
Shinedown.
I didn't listen to it as an album, but I listened to a lot of their stuff.
Yeah,
so
but you're pretty much aware of all the bands we're going to talk about today, anyway, aren't you? Pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much. Oh yeah, no, definitely. I had no idea about Ghost at the time. We talked about this before. I didn't know ghosts were a thing until 2 or 3 years ago, maybe 4.
Yeah, they snuck up on you, didn't they?
But they were massive, been a massive band for a long time. But like I said, my head was in Sweden at that point. Okay, I know what you're thinking, and I can't believe we both didn't pick up on that. Yes, my head was buried in Sweden at the time. Yes, I know ghosts are Swedish. I hadn't heard of them at the time. It was a pretty big oversight for both of us there. But I wasn't going to explain it until later on the episode. I didn't want to take up too much time before getting into it. But because of that cock up, I kind of have to. Basically, a lot of you will know I was very much into Sonic Syndicate for many years. Some of their ex-members formed The Unguided and had a very similar sound, so I got into them. And at this point, I was on Spotify a lot, listening to either like whole discographies of a band, and then when it gets to the end of when it's played everything on their discography, it'll start playing similar bands to that band. You know what other people kind of like. Or putting on a band's radio on Spotify, and I don't know what the ratio is. I always assume just a sort of 50% of the band that you've selected, and then the other 50% of the playlist, it sort of finds other bands, or uses some kind of algorithm to work out what other people listen to and sort of populate that playlist with similar bands again. So. Yes, I wasn't scouring the internet just for Swedish bands. I was basically listening to what was offered to me on Spotify, and Ghost was never that. So I had to clarify that. Also, quickly, while I'm here, actually, I never really get to do this because I don't usually record anything after editing. But for some reason, both of us were quite sniffly in this episode. I don't know why. I haven't really been ill recently. I can't talk for Simon, but we were both quite sniffly, and it was a pain to take them all out, and I probably didn't get all of them out, so I apologise in advance for any sniffing or potential coughing. I think I've got rid of all of that, but potential nasty sounds that you wouldn't normally hear in our episodes. And so...
It was in Sweden or the same Iron Maiden playlist?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So much so that the only album that I asked to be put in this was from a Swedish band.
Of course. We'll get to that.
Yeah.
We'll get to that. Okay. So we have some albums from 2015, some albums that we've picked. I'm sure you guys have seen the list. I won't read the list out to you. We'll just jump straight in.
Yeah.
Let's start with 3 Days Grace's Human album. So the way we do this, I'll talk a little bit about the album, my description. Adam will give his thoughts, and then we'll just talk generally about how we feel, if we think it's bad, if we think it's good, or whatever.
Do you have any honourable mentions first, like you did last time? Because I had one.
No real massive ones come to mind. I'd say that we decided not to talk about Paradise Lost's The Plague Within because it would be 3 episodes talking about Paradise Lost, and we might as well become a Paradise Lost podcast. That's a really good album. From other memory, apart from these, there probably is a couple, but nothing that directly comes to my mind right now.
Okay. Well, I had one honourable mention, which was Halloween's My God-Given Right. And I absolutely fell in love with this album in 2015. Nice. There weren't many other albums by Halloween that I had actually listened to. I don't know why I just decided to put this one on when it first came out, but it was so good. The reason why I didn't ask for it to be put in the list is because I don't really know how it compares to some of their other albums. I don't know if it was a big album for fans or people hated it. But I wanted to put it in as an honourable mention because I really liked it. It's a really good album, and you should go and listen to it if you didn't.
Okay, sweet. Okay, yeah. Well, a bit of a shame then, because obviously, I would have taken the time to listen to it, but it doesn't matter.
Oh, okay. Well, I was talking to the fans at that point, not just you specifically. You need to go and listen to this. I could have, told you, but yeah, you listen.
There's
to it.
There's a lot of that band that I need to listen to. That
me too.
We at some point need to do just a deep dive on them in general. I think. I mean, there's a lot of bands we need to do, but I think it'd be interesting knowing that you really like them, and everything I've heard, I've been like, oh, but I just haven't delved any further into them. So I want to actually do that at some point, which would be great. Yeah.
So if we
will
do
get to Halloween, guys.
Yeah, definitely. And if we do have any big Halloween fans, I'd love to know how you received that album compared to some of their other stuff, or if you know how other people received it, how it is ranked roughly in their back catalogue. Because, it'd be interesting to know.
Okay, wait, I do have a couple of other ones. Sorry, I just went into my Spotify. Enter Shikari, The Mind Sweep. That is quite a good album. Not necessarily my favourite Enter Shikari one, but it has a lot of good songs on it. Marilyn Manson, Pale Emperor was like a return to form for me. I hadn't liked the last couple of Manson, and then Pale Emperor came out, and I thought, this is really good. And then Heaven Upside Down, the one after, was like even better. Papa Roach Fear, which we've talked about before, that's a good album. I think you ranked it higher in your ranking than I did, but I still like it as an album. As an album. So that's really that one. Yeah, that had Face Everything and Rise, Skeletons, Falling Apart, Gravity. That was a really good album.
I did like that one.
Yeah, Faith No More, Soul Invictus as well. Their like first album since 1997's Album of the Year. Again, not my favourite Faith No More album, but just more Faith No More, and that's quite a good album as well. Apart from that, just these ones. And Deaf Heaven, New Bermuda. That is an amazing Black Gaze album. Those plus all the ones we're going to talk about. 2015, I was listening to so much music in 2015. It was fucking unreal.
Yeah,
like there was almost too much. So yeah. But anyway, where were we?
Sorry.
Carry on. That's all right. No, but good. Yes, honourable mentions. I did actually forget that part, so that's why that bit was so convoluted. But hopefully Adam has got that down.
Beautiful.
He's the editing master. I can tell you right now, he's editing this episode so well. Future Adam, you're editing this episode so well. I can feel it.
Thank you, past Simon, from present Adam. I don't know. Wibbly wobbly, timey-wimey. Thank you, past Simon. Carry on. Sorry. Go.
So, 3 Days Grace, Human. So after the departure of Adam Gauthier, the band's original singer, The album that he left on wasn't a very successful album for the band because they never toured it, which was Transit of Venus, which I actually think is a really great album. But he left, the band didn't tour it, and it didn't really sort of do anything in giant ethos. 3 Days Grace fans liked it, but I'm not sure in the wider universe how well Transit of Venus was received. But obviously the band didn't want to stop, so they got Matt Walst as his replacement, and Like a Duck to Water, his more gruff sort of vocals just blended perfectly with the music. I think that after Transit of Venus, this has sort of brought them up to a new level. They sort of sounded invigorated. I think this album has some absolutely amazing, like, 3 Days Grace moments. They chose to up the distortion, pull back on the electronic elements that they had on the last one. It's a really, really good album with a lot of great tracks and the perfect way for Matt to start his tenure in the band. You couldn't start your sort of, they're such a huge band. You couldn't start in a better way than this album. It kind of feels like he was always the singer. Just really great stuff. And I love this album, and it's got tons of good songs on it. Adam, what did you think of 3 Days Grace Human?
It had to grow on me a little bit. I listened to it probably 2 or 3 times. From the first listen, I wasn't that keen on it. I was like, maybe a couple of good songs. I think the first song is pretty rubbish, and it is a bad opener. It's just maybe not pretty rubbish, but it is a bad opener for an album. It's not the best pace. It doesn't open the album very well, and I think a lot of people will lose interest because of that song.
I was going to say when we talked about the songs a minute, it's one of the best openers. It's so good. I am on the complete opposite side of the fence.
Yeah, no way. That's weird. I didn't enjoy it, but I think the second half of the album is amazing. It takes a while to actually get going for me. But yeah, there were some amazing songs. I Am Machine was fucking incredible. I think
it's a good song.
The End Is Not the Answer was really good as well. There's a few really good songs on here. I really enjoyed it. I'd never really listened to much 3 Days Grace before you.
Yeah, well, we keep talking about this band in the vein that this band should be a band that you like because they do everything that you like.
Yeah.
But you just haven't taken the time to sort of get into them. But yeah, I agree. I disagree with Adam on the first track. I think Human Race is an amazing opener for an album. Builds and builds and builds. But we know how much Adam hates songs that build. So he's obviously not going to like it. He wants it now, and he wants it now. And if it's not now, why is it not now? Okay. But we all know that. I think Painkiller, Fallen Angel, I'm Machine, good. So What? There are some. The Real You as well. Really like the last track. Really great. I think it's a really good album. And, I think the album after this is 3 Days Grace's best album.
Okay.
And the new one is pushing that kind of boundary as well, with obviously the 2 singers on it. But I still think that solid start. No one sort of knew what to expect with a brand new singer from such a huge band. And it turned out he'd done all these tracks amazingly, and he could also sing all the old stuff really well live. So as a hardcore 3 Days Grace fan, which me and my brother have been since the very beginning, we were very, very happy with this album at the time. We were like, yes. We thought it was going to be bad, but it was really good. So we were quite chuffed about it.
Who knew you were okay with replacing singers?
If you replace someone with good singers, with a good singer, it can be done.
That wasn't for you. That was...
I mean, I like Iron Maiden.
Yeah.
They replaced the singer. I like Killswitch Engage. I could go on.
Do you know what? I'm going to... Sorry, let's stop that. Let's stop being silly. There is a song at the end of this album that I really, really liked and I wanted to talk about, but I don't remember which one it is. I'm not going to do this for every album, but I'm just going to have a quick listen. I don't know what it was, but I really liked the end of this album. The beginning, like I said, really good album overall, and I will listen to more.
Yeah, I'd recommend Outsider. The one after this, I think is probably the best 3 Days Grace album, which is crazy when you're a new singer and you come in and just pull out, one really strong album and then what I think is the band's best album. It's pretty fucking insane. But anyway, really good. Next, we shall talk about let's talk about a band that we probably don't talk about and we should probably talk about a lot more. It's Soulfly. An amazing, and I am absolutely thoroughly enjoying their new album. Holy shit, it is crushing metal. So if you're a Soulfly fan, you have this new album. Holy shite, it's incredible. Anyway, we're talking about their album for 2015, Soulfly's Archangel. So I am a huge Soulfly fan and always have been. So I have a lot to say, but I've cut it down because it was a lot. So this was a really good period for the band. They'd been on a great run of albums, literally up to this point from when they started. I think there's only one sort of dud up to this point, in my opinion. And obviously as what's come after, like they just have such an incredible discography. The riffs on this one, the rhythms are so great. The record itself is stepping sort of a more death metal direction than sort of what they used to. It's really, really heavy, especially on the bass and the rhythm section. It's got some insane religious subject matter. If you read the lyrics of this album, it's just fucking really nuts. And it definitely gets better and better and better with each listen when you listen to this one. Yeah, it's just raw. This album is just raw as hell. And I absolutely love it. So it's metal of the highest order, I think. And I think I won't give you where it ranks in my Soulfly ones because I've got a Soulfly ranked video coming out.
Okay, cool.
But this album is up there when it comes to Soulfly albums, I think. It's very, very good. But yeah, just great stuff. Adam, what did you think of Soulfly's Archangel?
Yeah, I agree with you when you say it gets better with each listen. This is probably going to happen for a lot of these albums that I couldn't get into them that much to begin with. I don't know whether it's because we've listened to so much recently and my brain's just a bit mushed and gone, there's too much new music, or just the time, just the time of the time in music. It was just different to what I was used to. Like I said, I had my head in Sweden. All this other music's coming out here, and music changes. But yeah, the first listen for this, I was just like, it's a little bit too heavy for me. Not that keen on it. And then I put it on again one day walking home from work, only a few days ago now. And especially the first song, I was like, this song is really, really good. I really like this really like this song. So again, I will probably keep liking it more and more if I was to keep listening to it. Never been the biggest Soulfly fan. I like some of their stuff, but this is probably one of the first times I've put an album on of theirs. Really? Yeah.
That's surprising considering, especially in the early days, they had some huge hits, massive.
Yeah, but where are they from?
Brazil.
Well, it's not Sweden, is it? Come on.
He only likes Swedish bands. Fucking hell. But yeah, this is a really great metal album, seriously. The song you're talking about, the first one, We Sold Ourselves to Metal, is just great. Archangel, Sodomites, Ishtar Rising, Titans, Mother of Dragons. This really has some absolutely beastly metal on it. So I would recommend this, and also go check out the new Soulfly album, because I don't think I've heard anything like the new album in metal. It sounds completely different to anything that's out at the moment. Completely different. It's really... Well, I think it's a bit groundbreaking, but people, no ground is broken in metal these days, so it probably won't be considered. But I've never heard an album sound like this new album before. It's great.
That's crazy to hear. Yeah, I'm going to listen to it. Yeah,
I've never heard an album sound like this before. It's just fucked. It's crazy. It really is crazy. Right, let's move on. Let's get spooky, kids. Let's get spooky. Let's get spooky dooky. Let's talk about a Swedish band, not the Swedish band Adam's probably thinking of. Let's talk about Ghost and Meliora. So when this one came out, I was very skeptical because I'd loved the previous album, Infestissumam, so much that I was like, they're going to ruin it because it's not going to be dark gothy metal anymore. It's going to go in a different direction. And it did. It's I was pleasantly surprised by this one. Like, they sort of modernized. They went away from the real sort of 70s kind of sound that they'd got on the album before. They really wanted to sound like an old 70s prog band. And they sort of brought it into sort of, they started adding more modern day elements, or, more 80s stuff, 90s stuff, 2000s. So they just started adding more to it. This one had ballads, which the other one really didn't have. And it had a bit of an emotional side, where the other one was sort of more goth. This one was like, I'm actually going to be a little bit more emotional with the lyrics and the kind of singing that they were doing. But yeah, it's a fucking great album. A lot of people will tell you this is the best Ghost album. A lot of people. Although I think the weird thing about this is the original album doesn't include what should be the best song on the album, which is Square Hammer, which is one of their biggest songs. It's only on the deluxe version, although it was released as a single around the same time, but they didn't include it on the album. So it's only on the deluxe version of it. But that is by far one of the best Ghost songs. But yeah, it is an amazing amalgamation of sort of prog rock, the kind of goth stuff they were doing before, but with beautifully sung vocals, really great guitar riffs. It's just a fantastic album from start to finish. IMO. Adam, did you enjoy Ghost's Meliora? And tell me what you thought of it, sir.
I was really looking forward to surprising Alexander with my opinion on this. Until this morning when I listened to it again, and I was just like, what is the point of this, really? Why does it exist? On the opposite, my opinion went down on a second listen, which doesn't happen normally. Normally you get used to it and you get more into it, but maybe only down by a little bit. But yeah, the first listen I was like, yeah, do you know what, this is okay. And I posted in the Discord jokingly, why the hell do I have to listen to this? But I was like, I'm going to surprise people. But yeah, this morning I was just like, I'm really not feeling this. I'm not into it. I'm not a Ghost fan.
Okay.
Really not.
Well, yeah, you don't have to be. Not everyone has to be.
No. But I think it sounded interesting. So what I understood was that basically it sounded like it should be from the 80s. But I thought, obviously they do, but they've got like an 80s sound mixed with a modern sound, whereas a lot of people would sort of go, right, I want to sound like I'm from the 80s. They go, no, we're going to sound like this, but from the 80s, if that makes sense. I maybe that's a pretty...
No, I did say
when
I was talking about this one's modern. If you listen to the previous album, you'd say you could imagine that being from a certain period, whereas this, they started to add the more modern bits to it, which at first, for me, when I listened to it, was a bit jarring, but it really, really grew on me. Yeah,
that's what I thought. Yeah, not a fan.
Not a fan. Okay, well, Adam's Ghost Day still has not reared its head for everyone. Sorry, guys.
I find that so interesting that everyone says you have at a certain point, they just click for you, and then you love all of their stuff, and it's like, I understand that. Like, I love the fact that that's a thing, but it's not happened for me.
No, I mean, I feel like I've said this about every album we've talked about so far, but this isn't my favourite Ghost album. It's a great album, but it's probably third in my rankings of Ghost albums. I think there are two albums after this, one before and one after, that I think are way better in my opinion. But a lot of people would consider this to be the best Ghost album.
Okay.
A lot of the probably hardcore Ghost fans, but yeah, like Pinnacle to the Pit, Mummy Dust. There are a lot of songs that, like, huge, massive Ghost songs. Obviously, Square Hammer that I just mentioned, that's on the deluxe version. But they were around a lot of the time. If you weren't conscious of Ghost, you wouldn't have really paid it. And this is sort of just before they broke that ceiling. Like when Square Hammer came out, that was their first big hit. And that's the song that sort of projected them. And then on their next album, they started to get really big with songs like Rats and all stuff like that. So this was just before they peaked and went, hello. I think they headlined Bloodstock the next year.
2016 they did, yeah.
And that's crazy that Ghost would headline one so small now. It's, crazy.
Yeah.
To think
no
that.
way.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure all of the... because at that point, there were no real downloaders at Bloodstock. It was the real Bloodstockers, you know. And I think they really hated Ghost headlining.
Did they?
And I'm so happy about the fact that happened. Great stuff. That's right, people. We've taken over your festival. So sorry. Sorry, all you Bloodstockers, original Bloodstockers. We have taken over your festival. And you know what? I don't give a fuck. So
I think it's your festival now. It's not Bloodstockers. It's more people go that are downloaders than are Bloodstockers. So you're in the minority now.
Yes, I agree. Fuck them. Right, let's move on, shall we? We'll stay in the sort of gothic arena while we're in the gothic arena, and we'll talk a little bit about a small little English band called Cradle of Filth, and we will talk about 2015's Hammer of the Witches. And everyone knows how much of a huge Cradle of Filth fan I am, so I won't bang on about it. And again, this one I had to shorten it a lot. Because there was a lot I had to say about this album, but I shortened it down. So, really cool source material for this album, though. So, the title comes from a real 15th century guide for hunting and persecuting witches.
Okay.
Which is amazing. Not amazing because loads of innocent people died because of this book, because it had loads of fallacy stuff in it to say that these women were witches when they weren't. So, actually, it's a bit shitty because apparently I read like 20,000 people died because of this book that should never have been killed because they were definitely not witches. So
holy shit.
Pretty but perfect for Cradle of Filth, gruesome, horrible, horror, which just suits them perfectly.
Yeah, about the same amount as their ex-members, right? Yes.
Oh yeah, yes. Oh no, they were in it for a while. Actually, the two guys that join in this didn't leave until this year. So
okay. Yeah.
They were in the band for a long 10 years, which is a
minimum wage.
More than the original guitarists were in the band for. So, well, no, one of them. So, yeah. Anyway,
okay.
So 2 years after their hand was forced. So the previous album, The Manticore and Other Horrors, I think is by a country mile the worst Cradle of Filth album, only because they had one guitarist for it, and it had to be done really quickly, and the songs were bollocks. So the album before this. It's really not a good, it's not even a good metal album, it's just not a good album in general, I don't think. So everyone was a bit worried because he was like, right, we're getting 2 new guitarists. And that's a big deal when it's Cradle of Filth, when guitar is one of the main things of your band. So they got Ashok and Richard Shaw, and Richard Shaw I have had many conversations with. He's a very, very nice man. Cool. I started messaging him on Instagram in like 2021, just because he's a guitar teacher as well as he was in Cradle of Filth. A lovely bloke who, took a lot of time to talk to me, so I was very happy about it. I was just like, oh my God, I'm talking to a guitarist from Cradle of Filth. This is insane. He's messaging me on Instagram. But, that's not a big deal for some people, but he's really cool. And they also brought in a new keyboardist and female vocalist, Lindsay Schoolcraft. So it was basically huge change. 3 members of the band completely changed. Holy shit, did they come in with a blast. It kind of felt like the band had a new vibrance, the missing parts that weren't there for the last couple of albums. The new guitarists, the diversity of the riffs, how they were delivered, took the guitars up a huge notch. Mathis's drumming on this album is absolutely top drawer. It's kind of what you expected from Cradle of Filth albums before this, but they just dipped for like 5 years, and everyone was like, oh my God, where are our Cradle of Filth? And we were so happy at the time that the quality had got back to where it should be, and it hasn't dropped since. They've been putting out probably their best albums for the last 10 years, which is just crazy. And even Danny Filth on this one, his vocals, everything he's doing, he just sounds reinvigorated. The whole band, just wow. It's a great gothic death metal album. It's fucking insane. Great riffs, great vocals. Yeah, it's up there for me. It's not in my top 5, but it would be in the top 10.
Okay. How many albums have they got?
Very, very, very... Oh, a lot. Yeah.
It's in my top 20.
15, 16? Yeah. Wow. It's in my top 20. It's in my top 20, yeah. They've got a lot of albums, but this is a very, very good one.
Yeah.
And I love it. So yes, it's a tour de force of gothness. Adam, what did you think of Cradle of Filth's Hammer of the Witches?
I loved it.
Yes!
I've got a couple of bits to say. I'm sure we've listened to one of their other albums for one of these episodes previously, and I'm sure I said probably the same thing. But all I knew of Cradle of Filth was Nymphetamine and Her Ghost in the Fog. Both absolutely incredible songs. They were played everywhere when they were released. Anybody who is into our kind of music heard those songs when they were released, even if they weren't into
massive,
Cradle of Filth.
Big hits.
Yeah.
Yeah, big hits.
And listening to this album, I was like, most of these songs sound just as good as those songs, as those two. I was like,
yeah,
they could have been released as well, I think, or could have been, if they had the same amount of airplay, Scuzz, Kerrang amount of plays. It just sounded good to me. So I was like, yeah, this is actually really cool. Not the kind of thing I would listen to often, so I didn't really differentiate many of the songs to each other, or remember any song titles and any bits of it, any of the songs that I particularly liked. But just the general feel of the album was that I thought it was quite good, really good. Really good.
Good, yeah. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I think the last one we listened to, you said that you did like as well. I know you like sometimes sort of an onslaught of heavier music. So like you said, like live, you would be standing there going, "This is fucking awesome."
Yeah.
You like to hear, heavy metal, heavy metal music played live. Yeah, you feel. Yeah, With this drumming, of course, you're gonna feel it, aren't you? You're gonna feel those.
No, I don't feel drummers either.
Fucking running straight through you. No, you don't feel anything. But yeah, the Blackest Magic Put in Practice of this album was one of the singles, and it done really well. It's one of the ones they still play to this day, and that's a banger. And that had a great video as well. So that one, was not as much as that other stuff, but it was kind of scratching the surface, and people started going, "Hey, this Cradle of Filth, this is good again. These guys are good." and obviously now people have paid a lot of attention to them sort of more now, but they had that little dip in them sort of late 2000s, early 2010s where, it wasn't quite up to scratch really.
Yeah.
Which is a shame because they, like you said, in the early 2000s and 90s, they were just huge because they had so many massive hits. Yeah. So, bit of a shame. But anyway, off this one, Yours Immortally is a great track. Deflowering the Maidenhead, Depleasuring the Goddess, fucking incredible song. Blackest Magic Put in Practice, The Vampire at My Side, and Onward Christian Soldiers are some of my favourite ones. But I do think if you like your death metal or you like your goth stuff, give this album a spin because it is fucking brutality. And it's really good. It's really, really great. Right. What else have we got to talk about? Hold on. Okay, let's go in the opposite direction of gothy stuff. Hold on. Right. Okay, so let's get away from... We've entered the dark period. Let's get out of the dark period for a little bit and go back into a genty, emo-y sort of period. Let's talk about Fightstar's their last album. They haven't released an album since, unfortunately. Behind the Devil's Back. For me, probably one of the most underrated albums from the 2010s. It's a perfect mix of dreamy style, sort of like modern shoegaze, very Deftones style shoegaze.
Yeah, I could hear that. With
synthwave elements, topped with metal riffage. It had actually been 6 years since their previous album, so they always leave, because he's always doing Busted or doing something else, they always just leave big gaps, which for Fightstar fans is a bit like, fuck's sake.
Yeah.
They take so long to make an album. But normally, the albums they release are very good, and this one was well worth the wait. Everything on that album just blends seamlessly together. I think it is just an absolutely incredible album. Soundscapes, his vocals, vocal lines, guitars, drumming. It's a must listen for me. If I was to recommend 10 albums from the 2010s, this would be one of the albums I would recommend to someone to listen to. And just as a little mention, the final track, Dive, proves that Charlie was doing Sleep Token songs before Sleep Token were doing Sleep Token. When people say that President is like a rip-off of Sleep Token, listen to the track Dive and you will realise that Charlie was doing Sleep Token before Sleep Token were.
I don't think I quite got to that song. I listened to this album 3 times, and I never finished it. I assume. It probably has one of the best enders. Like, fucking hell, man. Well, I should know. Listen to the last song first, because you always do that. You always say, "Oh, did you not even listen to this last song? It's such incredible." I'm like, no, I didn't get to the last song. I never do. No, I do sometimes. But
Well,
I know you do
You
that.
probably won't like it because, like a Sleep Token song, it starts with sort of drums and singing, and then builds and builds and builds and builds and builds and builds, and then ends in a gent breakdown. So it is a Sleep Token track. I mean, like, I wouldn't be surprised if they listened to that and went, right, guys, that's what we're going to do for every song. Is we're just going to rip off this Fightstar song because it is a Sleep Token song.
Yeah,
like I'm not just saying it.
It will be interesting to hear. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
do your job, Adam.
Yeah. But sorry, but what did you think in general of Fightstar's Behind the Devil's Back?
So the first time I listened to it, I didn't enjoy it. The second time I listened to it, I thought, right, I'm going to enjoy this. Like it's probably the kind of it's not too heavy. It's the sort of thing I should like. So the second time I was like, come on, pay more attention. You should like this. It's good catchy stuff. I still didn't like it the second time, but the third time I put it on, it was actually growing on me again. So, like I said earlier, a lot of these albums are going to be the same. If I listened to all of these albums 10 times each, I'd probably love all of them by the end of it. But yeah, it started to grow on me the third time. But by that point, I'd left it too late to sort of pick little bits out of the album. But again, I would probably enjoy it on a fourth listen.
Yeah, I thought this would be one of the ones that you liked because it's got that catchiness, it's got that sort of emo hook, but also has heavy guitars. So I thought there's all the elements here that Adam would like. Yeah, but it just hasn't quite stuck with you.
Yeah, I don't know when it was. It was probably quite a while before. Probably the album before this, like 6 years before, where he released a single and that grew on me loads, and I did quite like that one in the end. Which is why I thought I would really like this. And I said, I probably would. Just, I don't know. Music was weird at this time. All of the, I was so glad that we did the Download released their lineup last episode, because I didn't have very much to say on these. Even though I'd listened to them all, I didn't have very much to say on them at all. I was like, I'm glad that we're taking an extra couple of weeks so I could listen some more. But I struggled with all of them. Yeah, I really did.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think this album is absolutely incredible. Like I said, I wish he would stop doing this mediocre band that he's doing now and go back to doing some Fightstar. Excuse me. Why? Yeah, I wish he would just say, President, let's just stop this and go and make some really great music with Fightstar, because they're incredible and twice the band that President are. So, yeah, I know, I get it. It's a good hook for everyone, but
it's the hype.
Come on, Charlie, mate, leave it out. It's been 10 years. Get back to some Fightstar. Let's have some good shit again, please. I beg of thee.
Was this the last album they released?
Yeah,
or the most recent? Yeah, bloody hell. Okay.
Yeah, so it's been a long time. Yeah, but he's been doing. They've been up to all sorts of crazy kids. He
probably went,
and your crazy music.
He probably went, I never actually built my way up from the bottom. I should do that again with a new band. And then just it automatically gets put on download stage. Like, oh shit, it fucking happened again. Right, I need a new band where I play small pubs, and work my way up and prove myself.
That's what he likes to do.
Anyway,
yeah, he doesn't like to actually do it, all the stuff he's already built up. He's like, nah, mate, I've already built it up. Fuck it.
No, he didn't.
Can't get it any bigger than it already is.
He didn't build up anything. Anyway, carry on. Sorry.
Hold on. Okay, let's talk about... Hold on. I like to have the album up next to me so I can... Yeah, let's talk about Shinedown and Threat to Survival. So, to be honest, I hadn't really paid any attention at all to this band up to this point. I'd heard their name. I'd maybe heard a little bit of a couple of tracks, but I didn't really like anything that I'd heard before this album. Yeah. I think actually they'd done that one song for WWE from the album before this, which I really liked, but the rest of their stuff just didn't. I was like, I'm not sure. I don't know about it. That was... Hold on. Let me go to that album.
Bully was a good song.
Enemies.
Okay.
Anyway, we've since listened to Amaryllis, that album, and I really liked it. So at the time, I didn't pay any attention to it. I liked that song, Enemies. We've already listened to that album, and that is a really good album that kind of now I wish I listened to.
Yeah.
But this was my introduction to Shinedown. I heard Cut the Cord, and I think it got recommended to me on YouTube, actually. I was watching loads of videos at the time. Me and Carter, we just got our new flat in Cheltenham. So on a Friday night before we go out, we'd just sit down, drink, and watch music videos.
Yeah.
Kind of like, we just YouTube, and then we'd just let it play whatever. And it come up with Cut the Cord, and I was like, wow, this is sick, mate. Oh my God, this is a banger. And then I thought, well, I better listen to that album. And yeah, this is a quality album. Really good, really catchy. Every song. This album could, if you were to put the lyrics and the vocal lines he's used over pop tracks, this may have contained some of the biggest pop songs you could possibly have, because his hooks are unbelievable. They're so catchy, so good, so well sung. Like State of My Head should be one of the biggest songs in the world, because it's so catchy, so good, so well written. But it's it's like a rock song, so it's not considered to be up there with all the sort of pop songs that you would have. But if a massive pop star had sung that track, it would be huge, because it's just so good. I'd actually really like him to write, not necessarily to sing it, but to write someone a pop album.
Yeah.
And see how big it could get, because he writes really great hooks. But anyway, yeah, fucking awesome album. I liked this album at the time, but I really haven't probably listened to it all in total for a long time. Maybe 2017 was probably the last time I stuck this album on. Really, really great. I forgot how good it is, and I liked Attention. The one after this as well was really good. But since then, I haven't really paid any attention to Shinedown, if I'm honest. It's probably since that 2018's Attention, I haven't really bothered to... Actually, no, we listened to Planet Zero, and that was quite good.
Yeah, it was weird, though. I've only listened to it the once.
Yeah, I don't really have any like vivid memories of it, but I do remember liking it and saying it was good, so maybe I need to go back to it. But yeah, awesome album, really like it. Great hooks, really well-written music, and I just forgotten how awesome it was. Adam, what are your thoughts of Shinedown's Threat to Survival?
Exactly the same as you. Amazing album. I never listened to it as an album. Some of you will probably remember I said back in 2012, I went and saw them for the first time ever. I'd fallen in love with them through the song Devour. I was like, what the fuck is this? This is amazing. That was the first time I ever heard. Listened to them a bit. Went and saw them with Kelly. And then I listened to nothing else but Shinedown for 6 months after that. Literally, that's not an exaggeration. Nothing else but Shinedown for 6 months. So I heard all of these songs, but all out of order. But I mean, everything they do is amazing. Can't really comment on this album too much. Well, no, I can, but I have to comment on everything. But yeah, it's as good as every one of the other albums.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, from like the hardcore Shinedown fans, because it's sort of less heavier than their old stuff and slightly more commercial driven than that stuff was. So I wonder, from like a hardcore Shinedown fan's perspective, where this would sit. Yeah. In a sort of Shinedown album ranking. Like, did people like this album at the time, or did they think, oh, it's a bit hooky and a bit kind of maybe going in the wrong direction away from their more guitar-driven kind of stuff? So, yeah, out of all the albums, I wouldn't know where it sits, because I haven't really delved into anything before.
I wouldn't. So, I would want to listen to all of their albums as albums and then try and rank them that way, I think, if anything. But yeah, so good.
But yeah, anyway, if you're, I know that we got a lot of Shinedown fans in the Discord. So if you're a Shinedown fan, where does this one sit in your ranking of Shinedown albums? Give us your whole ranking if you want. But if you can't figure that out, does this sit at the top? Does it sit at the bottom? Does it sit in the middle? Because I think this is a really great album. So I'll be interested to sort of see what you guys say. But yeah, I did like the one before this. That's great. And the one after this, that sort of triangle of albums, I think, are really, really good quality. But I never touched anything before or after. We listened to Planet Zero, but I can't really remember it. So
yeah, well, I mean,
have they got anything since that? Did they release anything since Planet Zero? Have they got anything even newer?
What's this? Is this Searchlight? Is this a single? Is there new songs on it?
Oh, they got a new single out. They got a new.
Searchlight,
it's
Is that?
It's 4 songs. They got 4 new songs out.
Oh, and they're not on. They're not on Planet Zero. Oh, interesting. I've not listened to them then. 2025. Oh yeah, of course.
No,
it's
they
like
must
3
be
years
new.
after the album. Of course, it wouldn't be from the album. Released yesterday. Amazing.
Well, there you go then. So there you go. Adam confirmed he's got some new Shinedown
Amazing.
to listen to.
Yeah, I didn't go too much on Attention. Kelly bought it. She loved it. Planet Zero I've listened to once, but yeah, The Sound of Madness from 2008. Absolutely incredible album. If you've not listened to that one, definitely listen to it. I think.
Yeah, no, I don't think I might have heard one of the singles possibly, but I don't remember anything else.
I think Second Chance was a big song, but I can't remember what it was from. I put something up on Facebook about it, and someone commented saying, "Oh, is that with Second Chance from this?" And it was a big thing. It was like big mainstream thing. Let's see what else they got. I don't know. Yeah, all of their stuff is so good, but I listened to it out of order, so no more comments from me. Apart from I can't wait to listen to new stuff.
But anyway, we are both agreed that Threat to Survival is an awesome album. Go and check it out. If you like anything from Shinedown, you haven't heard this one, really recommend it. These songs will get stuck in your head. I fucking guarantee it. They're really good.
Yeah.
So that's that one out of the way. So I'm just reading them when I do them because I had the list and I was like, where the fuck are we and what are we talking about?
Reading. So
Hey?
I said it's reading.
What did I say?
You said reading. I know, I'm just being a twat.
Did I?
You said I'm reading, which makes sense. You're making them red, and I was pretending you were meant to be saying reading.
Oh.
See, it doesn't work when you have to explain it. Ah, twat.
No, it doesn't.
I'm a dickhead.
It doesn't. But it was good, and I appreciate your...
Get on with it. Come on, stop.
joking.
Get on with it. Don't
Sorry.
dwell on my shit joke.
Where are we? Hold on, I'm just finding... Hold on, man. I'm finding the one. Okay, let's go. So we have 3 more albums to talk about. And the number one, that doesn't make sense. The third or number one, whichever way you want to look at it, part of the 3 last ones we're going to talk about is Killing Joke's Pylon. So I am a huge Killing Joke fan. Both me and Chids talk quite a lot about how much we love Killing Joke. I think it's probably 20% of the conversations that we have is how much we love Killing Joke. This is the band's last album to feature the original lineup. Actually crazy that this is the band's 15th album, which is mental, because obviously they had been going since the 80s, which is just crazy. They a lot like some other bands, the sound had changed over time. They started as sort of like a gothy rock band, and over time they just got more and more industrial, and then became like an industrial rock/metal band, but also had those sort of goth elements as well. So it's quite interesting listening to their discography, because you're like, oh, is this even the same band? And then like another track comes on and you're like, this is fucking weird. It all sounds different. But it's great if you're a fan, because there's so much music to choose from. But yeah, this one, even though it's album 15, still sounding just as fresh as if it came from a new band. Again, it continues their industrial sound. Singer Jazz Coleman just sounding absolutely amazing. Those repetitive industrial killer riffs with those sort of drums, those sort of droning, pounding drums. The production on this album as well is absolutely fantastic. It sounds massive. Lots of synths, lots of weird time signatures. If you do like industrial stuff, this should be on your list to listen to. Any Killing Joke album should be on your list to listen to. Again, I'll say for the 15th time, not my favourite Killing Joke album, but it's up there. It's probably top 5 or number 6 for me. I wouldn't say it's the place to start with Killing Joke, but if you're a Killing Joke fan, it's really good, and there are some great moments on it. But yeah, it's a good album, a good addition to the discography. And it's probably got some of their biggest songs on, actually from Spotify, which I was surprised about how big some of the songs are and how many listens they've had from this album. But it is really good, and a great industrial album. Adam, did you enjoy Killing Joke's Pylon, and had you listened to Killing Joke before?
I have, from one of these episodes. I would also say it's not my favourite Killing Joke album. My favourite one is one that I probably haven't listened to yet. I haven't listened to all of them. So no, I didn't. I didn't enjoy it. I didn't even get. I listened to it.
You didn't?
I listened to it like 3 weeks ago originally. Listened to about half the album, turned it off, and I never went back to it since. I probably should have given it another chance after some of these other ones sort of grew on me after a while. But no, I never got round to going back to it because I didn't particularly want to, if I'm honest.
Okay. Well, I thought your industrial journey was beginning and starting to go into something. I thought, he's going to venture into the world of Killing Joke, and he's going to be pulled in by this one and then get into all the good stuff. But that clearly has not happened. It's a bit of a shame because it's so good. It's so big and huge sounding, and it's just full of reverb and 20 guitars playing the same guitar riff and just all sorts of fucking crazy shit that Killing Joke love to do. And I personally think they're one of the most underrated British bands of all time. They should be a household name because they've been going so long. But unfortunately, that's just not the case for Killing Joke, which is mind-boggling to me. But like I said, I'm a huge fan, so I love it. But yeah, bit of a shame. That's unfortunate. But like I said, if I was to get you into Killing Joke, there would be another album I would recommend you, and you'd think, actually, that's a bit tasty. So
probably. Yeah.
But if you do like your industrial stuff, listen to Killing Joke. Listen to any Killing Joke album, but they are very, very good.
Cool.
Right, as we are sort of in the industrial realm, how about we do a little bit of industrial metal on your ass? Let's talk about Fear Factory's Genexus. Fucking hell, where do I start with this album? From production to performance, this is a top-notch Fear Factory album. Somehow heavier than the other albums, yet more accessible, more hooks somehow on this album, even though the guitars are insane. The sound on this album, especially on the song Soul Hacker, literally sounds like your speakers are going to explode because they haven't compressed this album that much. So you get the real fucking boomy, disgusting guitar sound. And literally it does sound like your headphones are going to explode if you turn this album up too loud. You can't turn this album up too loud because it sounds too powerful. Like, I'd love to have someone's speakers where you could blast this evidently without having any distortion. The rhythm section is in full swing. Guitars are on point. Some of the band's best riffs, filthy tones. I think vocally, it's probably one of Burton's greatest performances. Top-notch drumming from Mike Heller on the entire album. He is just fucking ruthless with the album. And a really cool concept as well. Like, it's based on the model, which is Roy Batty, who is the android from the movie Blade Runner. Blade Runner was one of my favourite movies of all time. And this is all about Roy Batty's character from start to finish. An absolute beast of an album. It stands up against Dear Manufacture or Obsolete, probably the two definitive Fear Factory albums. I think it's just as good as those albums. Sort of it reverts between those three for my favourites. If you like metal, you should listen to this album because it is fucking ridiculously good. And yeah, everyone knows I'm a huge Fear Factory fan, but I genuinely think this is, one of number 1, 2, or 3 when it comes to the greatest Fear Factory albums. And if you like your production, I think from a production standpoint, it's one of the most interesting, and it's just got such an incredible sound that they kind of have done the same thing for it, but they haven't quite reached the levels that this album booms out of your speakers before. But anyway, I'll stop talking about it. Adam, what did you think of Fear Factory's Genexus?
I think I was expecting to have a similar feeling to the previous one we listened to. Was that Digital Immortal?
Demanufacture.
And I was right with what I was expecting. I remember quite enjoying this one quite a lot as well. I haven't listened to it recently. I listened to it a couple of times, probably like 3 weeks ago. I remember enjoying it. And I was pretty sure there was a song, I think it was Dielectric. I was like, yes. I'm sure I've heard this song before. I know this song. Either it sounds like one of their other songs, or but it's not in their top 10, so I don't know where I would have heard it from. But
no, it wasn't in their top 10, but it was a huge hit.
Yeah, okay.
It was big at the time. Yeah,
sense.
it was. Yeah, one of the tracks that was everywhere in 2015. Like, this is still one of their biggest albums. So, and it's only 10 years, so it's quite recent in their history. But yeah, Dielectric was a huge single, and the YouTube video had shitload of plays everywhere as well and loads of shit. So I wouldn't be surprised if you heard that or Soul Hacker at the time. They were quite big tracks.
Yeah,
so.
Soul Hacker doesn't stand out to me at the minute. I might do because it was right after. But yeah, no, I enjoyed. I remember. I'm pretty sure I enjoyed this one more than I was expecting to before. When I first was like, I'm not a fan of Fear Factory or Industrial.
Yeah, I think Fear Factory need to be experienced live. They're definitely this stuff live is just fucking really, really good. Just because the drumming's so insane and the vocals are really hooky as well. So, but yeah, like. It's so the tracks in this album: Anodize, Dielectric, Soul Hacker, Church of Execution, Regenerate, and of course the slow fading masterpiece that is Expiration Date, which has loads of quotes from Blade Runner in it and brings together the sort of Roy Batty's story. And if you like the movie, it's such an emotional ending to that film. That song captures it absolutely perfectly. So yeah,
cool.
I can never get enough of this album. I've been listening to it solidly for the last 10 years now, which is insane, but shit, this is a great album. So if you like Fear Factory and you haven't heard it, check it out. But I think if you like metal in general, I think you will really enjoy this album just for the hooks excuse me, and the incredible drumming that this album offers. And the next album we will be talking about is probably one of the ones that most people want to hear our opinion on from the albums that I put out. It's Bring Me the Horizons, That's the Spirit. So this being the band's 5th album, which at the time was pretty crazy. You think, wow, fucking hell, Bring Me the Horizon have 5 albums. That's pretty crazy. At this point, they were sort of well on their way to being the sort of massive, huge headline smashing band that we know that they are today. This is a more alternative metal feel to sort of, kind of, I don't want to say commercial, but the most commercial direction the band had ever sort of gone in before at all, even though they changed their sound completely from their original deathcore days. Obviously this one coming off the back of Sempiternal, which is
at that, what was before it.
considered to be a groundbreaking, genre defining album, which it still is considered today. It is a fucking masterpiece. And they wanted to continue where they left off, but obviously push more boundaries. I like that when this album decided to change who they were, they just were like, listen, we're just going to go in whatever direction we want to, and we're always going to sort of push forward, never going to go backwards. We're just going to keep on going, which I really love about bands. I know some people don't like when bands change, but I loved that. And I feel like Linkin Park done that. And that's why so many people left Linkin Park, because Linkin Park were like, look, we're not going to do the same thing over and over again. We're going to change every album and do what we want. And that's what Bring Me the Horizon are doing. It's just a shame that for the fans, it didn't pay off as much for Linkin Park. It did growth-wise for Linkin Park, but they didn't keep as many of the original fans with it. I know Bring Me the Horizon had a similar thing as well, but anyway, we could delve into that for a whole new thing. A great listen. You're going to guess what I'm going to say next. Not my favourite Bring Me the Horizon album, but nonetheless, this is a fucking stellar album. Really, really good all the way through. Pushes the band's sort of discography forward, adds loads of hits, and is just a really solid album. And I know for some people, they would consider this to be a better album than Sempiternal. I wouldn't. I still think Sempiternal is a better album in general, but there's not a bad song on this album. Every single song is top-notch, stellar. I just have more passion and more feeling for the songwriting and the musical direction on Sempiternal. Although I will say that the album after this, Amo, I actually liked more than this one. And I know a lot of people didn't like that album. So my music taste is obviously weird compared to some people's. But Adam, what did you think of Bring Me the Horizons? That's the Spirit.
I was expecting to like it more than I did, just because of how much I've grown on Bring Me the Horizon, or how much they've grown on me. But I guess since I sort of got into them off of the back of their headlining show at Download, I've probably only heard like the biggest of hits or the main hits. So this was probably one of the first times I've listened to an album properly. No, I think I tried listening to albums before. But yeah, listening to it as an album, I guess maybe I was expecting every single song to be as good as some of their biggest hits. So yeah, it didn't flow very well for me, I don't think. Just listening to it, yeah, it's not the album, it's me, and my expectations of what I was hoping to get, I think. But yeah, it didn't flow very well because I was expecting hit after hit after hit, which is what I was used to with Bring Me the Horizon.
I mean, I agree with you.
Yeah.
It doesn't flow as well as Sempiternal, or I don't think it flows as well as the one afterwards. It's more bitty in the placement of the songs and what style the songs are in. So I'm with you totally for that. I don't think it's detrimental to the album, but it doesn't flow as well as some of their other ones.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I still enjoyed it. Throne is just such an incredible song. I wasn't back in 2015 when this came out. Like I said, my head was in Sweden. I didn't want to like any of this stuff. I was like, I like my obscure stuff, and that's it. This is my personality. This is who I am. And Throne was everywhere, and I was like, I don't care for this stuff. I don't care for this kind of stuff. But it grew on me because of how much I heard it, because everyone was playing it over and over again.
Yeah.
And now I do like them. I'm just like, I like that song even more. But there's some other really good songs on here that I like. But yeah, as an album, I wasn't that keen on it. But I've said the reasons.
Okay.
I've said the reasons why.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I think that we said this when we talked about Sempiternal. Actually, I think that they took loads of stuff from European bands, like a lot of the electronical stuff they were doing. A lot, especially on Sempiternal, their style on Sempiternal was pure European. Like the Europeans were doing that style of metal, 4 or 5 years before Bring Me the Horizon were doing it. So Bring Me the Horizon sort of almost perfected it and made it their own. And I hear it again on this album. I think that European bands aren't afraid to push the boundaries of music and metal and where it goes. And American and UK bands, they do that, but they were a little bit skeptical. And I think Bring Me the Horizon pushing the boundaries, they were just doing what a lot of the European bands were doing. It just took off in a bigger scale. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I think that's why you've probably connected with a lot of their stuff, is it does have a very European sound to it.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure how many other people hear that in their music, but I do when I listen to them, and then I listen to other European bands as well. So, yeah. But I really like this album. Not my favourite, but a very, very good, solid alternative rock / metal album. I think Doomed is probably one of the best album openers of all time, I would say. It's absolutely incredible. Happy Song is unbelievable. Throne is great. True Friends is an amazing song. Follow You is a beautiful song. And Drown is amazing as well. Like, this album contains some of the band's best songs. There are a couple of moments where it kind of dips in quality a little bit, not to the point where the songs are bad at all. I just think that the songs don't stand up to the biggest hits on the album. But they are still good, listenable songs. But yeah, so it's not my favourite necessarily. But for a lot of people, this is the best ever Bring Me album. So if that's the case for you, I totally get it. And also, I would like to hear where this ranks in their sort of best albums for everyone, because that would be quite intriguing.
Cool.
Okay. And finally, let's go to Europe, as we were just talking about. Let's go to Adam's favourite country, that somehow he's never been to, and no one knows why.
No one knows why.
Why the fuck does this guy go to Download? Why is he not holidaying in Sweden every fucking June? Yeah. Who knows? Maybe that's what happened when he stops going to Download. He'll just go to Sweden every June and fucking rock out to some music.
Sounds good. Hold on.
Hold on.
Where there are death metal bands playing on every corner of every street.
That's what it's like there, though, right?
Yeah, got you.
It must be. If it's not, I think we'll all be very disappointed.
Yeah.
So, anyway, let's talk about Soilwork's The Ride Majestic. Now, I had to put this album in some perspective. So, there were 3 Soilwork albums that I was a huge fan of. So, the song As We Speak was on a Metal Hammer CD that I got.
That is my favourite song of theirs, I think.
In 2001 or 2. So, the albums Natural Born Chaos, Figure Number 5, and probably what's considered to be their masterpiece, Stabbing the Drama, I fucking love those 3 albums. However, after Stabbing the Drama, for some reason, I just didn't listen to any more Soilwork. And I haven't gone back to any of those albums. I've heard a couple of tracks, and I didn't get back into them again until what song was this on? Till 2020, when The Great Diviner came out.
Okay.
So for 15 years, is that right? 2005? Yes, for 15 years, I didn't listen to any Soilwork. So this album at the time obviously completely passed me by. So from 2005 to 2020, I didn't delve back into any other Soilwork albums, and I still haven't to this day. I listened to the one that they brought out in 2019, and I thought that was okay, but I haven't gone back to any of the others. After listening to this album, The Ride Majestic, fucking hell am I kicking myself that I didn't delve back into Soilwork, because this album is amazing. I stuck it on, and from the first track, I was like, oh, this is so good. Why was I not listening to this album in 2015? For God's sake, Simon. But I had a lot of other stuff to listen to, as I previously said, so I'm not sure where I could have got this album in, but I wasn't in a Soilwork listen at that point. But yes, wow. I mean, the classic combination of that sort of melodic death metal stuff with metal. I think this band is very much in the middle. There's a lot of metal, European metal, but there's a lot of that kind of, the typical Swedish melodic death metal in there as well. But I think it's a really good blend. It's a shame that bands like In Flames got so big, and I feel like Soilwork kind of got left in the dust a little bit by them, which is a real shame, because I think some Soilwork albums are better than some In Flames albums, and vice versa. But I think they're so close sometimes in the way they're sounding. It was kind of a pick one or the other, you can't have both kind of thing for a lot of fans, because when I was listening to loads of In Flames albums during these times, I wasn't listening to any Soilwork albums.
Okay.
So I didn't have any room in my sort of death metal ways for any Soilwork, because I was already encumbered by all the In Flames albums coming out. So
encumbered.
Yeah, I want to kick myself a little bit, because I thought this album was amazing. I thought that especially the vocal hooks.
Yeah.
I mean, we know this guy's an incredible singer anyway, but fucking hell. I mean, wowzer. Just incredible. Adam, what do you think of Soilwork's The Ride Majestic?
Yeah, so I'm going to start with the story as well. I'm so glad you did that, because I was like, am I the only one that does that? It starts with a little story about how I like the band.
Bit of context,
yeah. But yes, so it's a similar story from this to the Halloween one. I wasn't the biggest Soilwork fan. I didn't know where this came in all their albums, but this album was a huge album to me. And it was that big an album to me that I wanted to put it in here. Like I said, I didn't know where it sits with other people. But I remember when I first got into Soilwork. I remember what post round I was on. It was, I don't know exactly when it was. It was like probably 2014 or something. So over 10 years ago, I know what round I was on. For 3 weeks, I was on this specific round. And I put all of Soilwork on for the first time ever on Spotify, just to loop all of their stuff. So I didn't know what was on what albums. But yeah, As We Speak is probably my favourite song of theirs. Such a good song.
Nice. Really good.
And this was the next album that came out by them after I got into them. So I was like, I need to get into this. I need to listen to it. This is going to be amazing. And then the same as you. After this album, nothing. I didn't care. I was like, such big hype from me. I loved this band so much for such a long time, and then nothing. I new album, whatever. I'll listen to it sometime maybe. But yes, this album was so good, and it just listening to it again. It was probably the first time I listened to it in a good 7-8 years. But so many good songs. Death in General, I absolutely love. The Ride Majestic straight away, amazing song. Every single song, it gave me goosebumps listening to this album again, and remembering how much I liked every single song from it.
Yeah, I'm totally with you. Like, we're in full agreement with this. This is an incredible album. I'm gutted that it wasn't a big album for me, because I would have loved this album in my music vocabulary at the time. I would have absolutely digged the shit out of it, as I really did like Soulwork. I just dipped out for a hell of a long time. Yeah. So this has made me want to go back to the albums that I absolutely loved and just bang them out again and be like, oh my God, this band is so good. And a band I've never seen live. I've never had the privilege of seeing Soilwork live. Yeah, no, I haven't either. I'm not sure if they ever played Download. Did they have? They've probably done Bloodstock, but I doubt they've ever done Download. Yeah, I have a feeling they probably have played Download at some point, but maybe at the time I wasn't in a Soilwork phase, so I maybe didn't go and watch them when I probably did have the chance to. And of course, he's doing that Night Flight Orchestra thing, and it kind of seems like Soilwork is the side project now, rather than Night Flight Orchestra being the side project. So I'm not sure where they are release-wise with stuff. Yeah. They brought out a single in 2024, so and an album in 2022, and I have not listened to that. No, I haven't. But yeah, it wasn't long after I got into them that he did a song with Sonic Syndicate, which I've said I was a massive. They were my favorite band for years. When was that? What? It was I think it was on Confessions. Was it on Confessions? No, it was on Sonic Syndicate. So it was 2014. Yeah, before You Finally Break. And I just got into Soilwork, and I was like, oh, my favorite band has got Soilwork singer on it. It's amazing. Like, just happened to get into them. If you haven't heard that song, go and listen to it. It's a really cool song. I will check that out. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's a shame they don't seem to be doing a lot anymore. I'd love to see them live. Yeah, I'd love to. I mean, look, obviously they're still going and doing all that sort of stuff. So hopefully in the future there will be a chance for us to finally see Soulwork. But an unappreciated band, a band that should be much, much bigger than they are. Probably in Europe, they're probably quite well considered, probably. But in the UK, they're not remembered the way that they should be. I think they should definitely be up there when people talk about European metal. But I delved into the story side of it too much. But yeah, when you said about it's a shame that In Flames got so big, I was like, that's a good point. I've never thought of it that way. But yeah, it's like they eclipse every other band that come up below them. But I was saying that for a while. Like, people would say, oh, what sort of stuff are you into? I was like, oh, a lot of obscure Swedish bands. Basically, think of any band that have been influenced by In Flames. Every single band that are underneath them, they sound like them. Yeah. It's just In Flames managed to break through somehow. They were just, it's just right place, right time, right kind of music, really. We don't know what the formula was, but this band are just as good, if not better. So if you do like In Flames and you've never heard Soilwork, my God, are you in for an absolute ride you're going to love. So if you're a big In Flames fan, you will become a big Soilwork fan. There's no doubt about it, because it's very similar, very good, and to the same quality. I can't say across the board because I haven't listened to every album, but the albums that I know and love are top quality melodic death metal. So go and check them out. And this album especially, really good, and I am going to listen to it a lot going forward. And I'm probably at some point going to delve back into the discography and go through all the albums that I missed. Cool. Yeah, I think I will as well. I've been fully enjoying listening to music again recently. I know I've said a couple of times that I'm not listening to much at work. I'm still not, but I've been getting my proper headphones out more often. And I'm like, let's put some
good music on. I put in the Discord just last week because I haven't really listened to. I know I keep going on about them. I haven't really listened to Self-Deception much recently because of these episodes, because of other stuff, like the D&D stuff. And I just put This Is Self-Deception on, and it was like the same for them. I had goosebumps, like, and just I felt so good listening to every song. I was like, this makes me feel amazing. So
that's cool.
Yeah, if you haven't checked Self-Deception out from my influences or pushing you to do it, then you probably won't, because you probably would have done it by now. But if you haven't, go and do it, because they are so good. Yeah,
they are really good.
But every era as well, every era of their music, because their albums from the mid 2010s, they sound nothing like what they sound now.
Yeah,
and it's weird. Yeah, but yeah, they're so good.
But good.
I can't wait to see them.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Go and check them out as well. And all the albums we talked about today, because we did talk about some really good albums. And fucking hell, I mean, oh boy, 2015 was a strong fucking year for albums. Jesus. The music landscape was very different. Like you said, metal was in a weird place in the 2010s. Very strange place. So some very odd albums came out, but also some very good albums came out. But yeah, anyway, so that was 2015 from our perspective. Thanks very much. Go and check some of those out. The list of them is on our announcements section channel as well. So if you want to get the full list and go back through them. But yeah, I would recommend you go and check out any of those, because I feel like they've all got something good to offer. That's it. Adamo, over to you, buddy.
So quickly, while we're still on music, I thought I was going to have a much bigger honorable mentions list, because I was going through the albums released in 2015, and there was a lot of the bands I was listening to at the time, but none of the albums that were released were big albums for me from those bands, if that makes sense. And a lot of other bands I was listening to, they released albums in 2014 and 2016. But I just wanted to go through some of the bands that I was listening to at the time that did make awesome albums at that point. I've talked about the Unguided loads of times. A band called Deadlock, German band. Demotional, they were quite good. And Solution 45. What else were I listening to? Raunchy, of course. Sonic Syndicate. A lot of... Where have they gone? A lot of a band called... Blowsight. Blowsight were amazing as well, which they're coming back. They've just released new music. And a band called Machinae Supremacy. That's what is on this playlist that I would have been listening to a lot at this time.
Nice.
But yeah, like I said, I thought I was going to have like a big list of like 7 or 8 albums that I would have put into this list, but they weren't big for other people, just big for me. But yeah, it didn't quite fall on the right year or the right band. But yeah, that's what I was listening to.
Nice.
Cool stuff. Anyway, so yes, let's go. Let's wrap this one up. Before we do that, we have to say a massive thank you to all our legendary Patreons: Duncan Scott, Joe Butler, Mike Ferris, Andy Taylor, Liam Hopwood, Tom West, Ethan Brown, Matthew, Chris Henderson, Scoot, Henry Richardson, Chris Hambridge, Alexander Toon, and James. You guys are absolute massive legends. Thank you so much for supporting us. Simon, tell us more about your YouTube and what's going on.
I have a YouTube channel. Thank you. I'm just writing some videos at the moment, so I got a lot to come at the end of the year, basically. So loads of stuff. And I had a great chat with Chids and Stu all about festival season. So if you haven't seen that one, go back and watch that. It's a nice hour's chat with us three, just talking about all the lineups from next year, what ones we're looking forward to, how we're ranking them, and all that sort of stuff. So go and check that out. Some great stuff on the horizon. And of course, again, I'll mention it, my single Never Let a Good Man Down is coming out on the 28th of November. I'm sure you'll see it all over my socials, but if you're listening to this after that time, then go and check it out on Spotify.
Yeah, Mercury Knight, wasn't it?
Yes.
The Mercury Knight, yeah. Cool. I'm sure you said that earlier, but I wasn't sure, so... Well, no, hang on. That doesn't make any sense.
You don't read it. You click on the link and it comes to, and it's got a picture of me on there now, so you know it's me. I've done like a little photo shoot, and I've done a proper bio, and I've changed the whole sort of aspect of the Mercury Knight thing to be all about me rather than a more faceless kind of thing. I want everyone to know it's me. Whereas before it was kind of like, who is this guy? Now there's pictures of me on there.
Okay,
so,
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just wasn't sure if you'd said the actual artist name earlier, just a single name. But so I
can't
just
remember.
clarify.
Yeah, I don't know.
Either way, it'll be in the episode description, as well as links to everything else you might want. Of course, the Broken Day hoodie, go and check that out. You need to and buy it. You need to. Patreon links, Discord links, everything, every link you could want in there. Oh, I wanted to do a Dusk Till Dawn thing then, but my brain's not good enough this time of night. But when you're talking about pussy, what kind of pussies they've got.
Oh yeah, titty twister.
Anyway, never mind. I'm not gonna plug anything this time because it still might be a little while till it's out. We gotta go. Anything else you want to plug or talk about or say right here?
No, just jump on the Butlins thing. Remember, if you want to come to the Butlins getaway next year, 2026, 9th to 12th of October, give me a shout on any of my socials and I will add you to the WhatsApp group.
Sweet. So it's a goodbye from Simon.
Goodbye.
And a goodbye from me. Goodbye.